Peace and blessings. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is Forward Progress. And today we got Mr. Marcus Bullock with us. How you doing, bro?
Man, I'm good, bro. Thank you so much for having me on, man. How you feeling?
Man, I appreciate you coming on. Look, this is an honor for me, especially being one who have heard you speak a couple times, but tell your story. But today we're gonna do it for the people.
No
So,
doubt.
if you will, before we start, tell the people who you are and what you do.
Yeah, I'm Marcus Bullock. I'm the CEO and founder of Flick Shop. We built the technology that helps keep families and businesses and communities connected to people that are typically marginalized around the country. So whether or not they're incarcerated, they're in the military, maybe they're in the aging senior living facility. We want to keep them connected to folks, and so we built our first version of the way that we want to keep people connected. We built a mobile app that we call Flick Shop that allows people to upload photos and send messages that are printed out on tangible postcards or photo books, and we ship them directly to people in prison cells, in military barracks, and in aging senior living facilities, and even aunties down the street, all around the country.
So, the way we do this, we actually start off with talking before you went to. Matter of fact, you actually did some time in prison, correct?
Yeah, man. So yeah, when I was a kid, my best friend and I, during my sophomore and his junior year of high school, we carjacked a man in the shopping mall parking lot. We were arrested for that carjacking the very next day, and then eventually sentenced to 8 years in adult maximum security prisons. So I grew up in prison. It was a tough time for me, as you can imagine. And I wanted to try to figure out how to be able to stay connected to my family in instant ways. So my mom did that by writing me letters and sending me photos, which prompted me to want to build a company now that does what my mom did for me when I was there.
Before we get into all that, what was your life like before prison? Who
Yeah,
were
before
you?
before I went to prison, I mean, I was the kid around the way who was known for having the church mom. My mom was, we lived in church every single day. You know what I mean? Like not just on Sundays, right? Like with actual worship service. We was in church on Mondays, for prayer meeting, and Tuesdays for some type of Bible study, and Wednesdays for the whole church-wide Bible study, Thursdays for choir rehearsal, Fridays for youth night, Saturdays for usher night. Like it was like always something to be going on in the church. And growing up in the DC area, first in Northeast DC, all the way through elementary school, and then eventually middle school and high school in Forestville, Maryland. Um, it was an instant time, where I was probably more enamored with what I saw outside my front steps, you know what I mean, than what my mom wanted to expose me to. I wanted to be like the dudes around the way, you know what I mean, who had all the Jordans, who had all the girls, and I wanted to try to figure out how to be the guy. And so I jumped off the porch early trying to figure out how to do that, and it landed me in making a series of bad decisions.
Okay, and being I guess you could say one who was into the church and watching two sides because you had a church mom.
Yeah.
You're not saying that your friends and partners, their families didn't go to church, but probably not as much. And that looks to a youth, it looks more in what's the word? More delectable. It looks more I'm trying to think of the word I'm looking for. It's more appealing to the eyes because like you said, they got the stuff that you wanted. Your mother being a church woman, I'm pretty sure it wasn't just buying all the Jordans and everything. So for you, you wanted to delve into things that will get you that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, for real. Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that my mom. I don't think that like the brand that I was building was that I was the preacher's kid. You know what I mean?
Mm,
But I don't think that like that it was tied directly to
stuff.
stuff. I think that my mom just couldn't afford it. You know what I mean? Like we also lived in one of the the lower middle income neighborhoods. My mom went to work every day. She was a government employee. She had a really good job. You know what I mean? She worked there for 30 plus years. It was in a, we weren't poor, but my mom made it very clear you ain't getting no shoes over $50. Like it's not even an option. It's not even a possibility to have no shoes over $50. And Jordans cost 140. You know what I mean? And I'm like, yo, and the girls love the dudes that came to school fly. Now I wanted to be them. And at first it started out with me selling candy, right? Like I used to love selling candy. I used to sell blow pops, annihilators, eventually grew up to Snickers. And it was wild because I would come home with this, pockets full of quarters and book bags full of quarters. And it was cool because I had enough bread, every now and again to buy, something when it came out. But now I'm addicted. Now I was addicted to the bread, and I'm like addicted to making money and seeing what the money could allow for me to be able to do, and the freedom they could buy me. Because nobody in my family had the ability to be able to, buy what they wanted when they wanted. I didn't have any responsibilities. I was a kid, you know what I mean? So being, when I had $30 in quarters, you know what I mean, I can go to the store and wrap those quarters up, change them into tens. Now I got a pocket full of tens. The next day I got another pocket full of tens. The next day I got another pocket full of tens. It was addictive. And then I realized, like, yo, what would happen if I stepped outside and those dudes that got those rocks in their hands, then it'd be a pocket full of 20s and a pocket full of hundreds. And then that was like, it was no turning back.
Okay, we're gonna fast forward. How old were you when you actually caught your charge?
15.
Okay, so you're 15. Y'all decide what was it? Try to take a car?
Yeah. We at a mall, shopping mall, see a dude sleep in his car, tap on the window, get in the car, drive off. He gets tap on the window, actually get out of the car. He gets out of the car. We get in the car. We speed off. He's standing there looking dazed and confused. Next day, we end up getting arrested for it.
And I have heard the story before, but you said you were sitting in there and you was kind of like waiting on your mother to be able to come and get you.
I knew my mother was going to come and get me. I was 15. You know what I mean? Like my mom came and got me out of every problem that I could find myself in, right? Whether it was like a bad grade on my report card or going to the principal's office for whatever, or having, after school meetings, and I got to run extra laps after basketball practice, because I was running my mouth, after crossing somebody over. Right, like my mom always got me out of problems, and that's was the extent of my problems. Right, talking to my basketball coach had to make me have to run extra laps after practice. This time, while my brain was still confused by the, what was going on versus the magnitude of it all, this time my mom couldn't talk me out of it.
I think it was, I forgot how you tell the story, but it's more like when you went to go see the judge.
Yeah, I went to go see the judge. I'm like, yo, look, I tell the judge, I'm 15, bro. You know what I mean? Like, my vocabulary words came out of my biology class. You know what I mean? Mitochondria, achondroplasia, trying to figure out how to be able to understand why they needed to split cells. Like, that was like what was going on in my world. And all of a sudden now I got to deal with like pre-sentence reports and arraignment and consecutive sentences and concurrent sentences and mandatory minimums. Like those were completely different vocabulary words for me. And so when my judge was like, yo, look, he gave me the 8 years. I was like, yeah, cool. I get you, Your Honor, but I just got bumped up to varsity on my basketball team. So I'm going to go ahead and go play Sherwood in the state championships. And we'll come back and revisit this whole contract thing later. Like I ain't really got the time to deal with this right now because I just got bumped up to varsity. You know what I mean? The judge looking to be like, yo, dude, you wow, slub. Like, clearly you don't understand the magnitude of what's going on here. So we're going to ship you back to the holding cell and let your lawyers explain to you what's happening.
How old were you when you got sentenced?
Still 15.
Oh, you was actually 15. And
I got arrested. I got arrested a couple of weeks after my 15th birthday. So it was like I was just 14. You know what I mean?
14, did you go to the state or fed?
States.
Okay. 14, you're going to the state.
I'm 15, so it was like December. My birthday is November 28th.
Okay.
And then in the carjack happened on December the 8th.
Okay.
So legit, like, November 28th, December 8th. It was legit like a couple of weeks, you know what I mean, after my 15th birthday.
And you're looking at life. They then finally told you that hey, how much time did they actually give you?
Yeah, man. My lawyer came in there and told me, you know what I mean? Like, look, they're probably going to sentence you to 23 to life. I was like, man, whatever you say, bro. Like, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to hear that, man. My girlfriend just bought me a Kenneth Cole t-shirt that I'm going to kill him with. when I get back to school. So whatever y'all gotta do to make that happen, you do to be like make that happen.
And it's not computing.
Yeah. My brain couldn't register that at the time. I mean, it took me a long time to figure that out. Like,
How much did they actually give you?
8 years.
Oh, so they gave you an 8-year sentence.
Yeah, they gave me 23 and they suspended 15. Told me I
Okay.
had to serve 10 years on supervised intensive probation,
Mhm.
and it left me with 8 that I actually had to serve.
Now, listening to what you're telling me, I want to ask this because I deal with the psychological part 7. What did you feel like? What did you feel when they finally gave you a time? I'm hearing you say you couldn't compute, so I don't know if the
I felt
feeling
like I
of
was ready to go back to
completion was
the.
there.
I was ready to go back to the unit. You know what I mean? And tell people I got 8 years, and I was gonna go to the gym, was gonna play ball, and I think Ricky Lake came on a little bit later on in the afternoon. That was that. You know what I mean? Like, that was, pretty much it. And then,
Regular day.
yeah. And then that's, hopefully, it'll be this weekend or next. Like they'll submit the paperwork my mom needs to do in order to be able to make sure that I can get back to second period, soon enough. Because if I miss too many days in second period, then my GPA going to drop. And then if my GPA drops, they're going to drop me off the basketball team. You know what I mean? If they drop me off the basketball team, I'm not going to be able to, do my thing next year so I can, potentially get a D1 scholarship. You know what I mean? Play ball in college. If I can't play ball in college, then how I'm going to go to the NBA? Yo, like they got to hurry up and do this thing. They got to hurry up and get these wheels turning. You know what I mean? Like, because they about to mess everything up. You know what I mean? For your boy.
When did it click for you that this one would all that wasn't part of the plan?
A couple years later. It took me 2 years. It took me 2 years, and I was 2 years that I was, they transferred me to a couple of different prisons. And then once I got to one of the prisons, and I was chopping it up with my boy Danny B. He's like in his mid-50s. And Danny B like, yo, I've been in for 31 years. And I'm like, 31 years? You've been in prison for 31 years? You've been in prison for 31 years. Dude, I'm 17 years old. You've been in prison for 31 years? Yo, this means they actually gonna make me do all 8 of these years? Oh. And that was the day I got sentenced. Even though I got sentenced 2 years prior,
that was the day it
out of prison, that was the real day I got sentenced.
What did you feel like? Because this is the psychological part I want now.
Yeah. And then initially I was going through the shock of it all. You know what I mean? And I knew that I couldn't emote. You know what I mean? I knew I couldn't, emote in a normal way that a kid should be able to when they have this massive weight-bearing tragedy that they just discovered.
You can't break down crying. You in prison.
No possible way. I'm walking around a prison rec yard, you know what I mean, with 900 other dudes, 900 different testosterone levels. The way my judge sentenced me, I had to spend all of my time in maximum security prison. So I got the least amount of time there. Right? The next person got the lowest amount of time, they got like 40-some years. You know what I mean? My cell partner got life plus 43. This is not the rec yard for me to be talking about crying about, oh my God, I got to actually do time in prison. Like, nah, bro. So now I had to suck it up and continue to keep walking as my knees are buckling, my heart is beating fast, my palms are sweaty, and I'm trying to figure out how to navigate a range of different thoughts that are just being shot through my brain at that moment. From, oh my God, does my mom know that I'm going to have to do all of this time? To, holy crap, does my girlfriend know that I'm going to have to do all of this time? To, oh my goodness, do my sister, my uncles, and my aunts know I'm going to have to do all of this time? And what does that mean for me in school? And what does that mean for me with all of my friends? And what does that mean for me in Christmas time? Is that forever? Like I'm never going to, oh my God, what about that dude that just got stabbed up in the breezeway? Like he's been here for I don't know how many years, but am I going to end up being that one of them people that get stabbed up in the breezeway? Yo, Richmond really is beefing with DC out this Johar, and now I'm from the city. And for real, I wasn't never really tripping about it because I'm like, yo, they beefing with them, like they locked up. I'm not locked up, but now, oh snap, I'm one of them. Young Marcus, you gotta go get your knife right now to make sure that you can protect yourself. Yo, so what happens if you got to protect yourself and you actually got to use that knife? Slim, if they catch you or somebody snitch, and people be trying to snitch to get time off. If they snitch, you're going to get 25 years. Oh, snap. I never going to go home. Dang, I
There's
can't
a
believe I
plethora of
said that.
thoughts.
And all these thoughts are happening, you know what I mean, in micro milliseconds, one after the other, after the other, until I had to, you know what I mean, eventually, go in my cell because they was closing the rec yard, which was another reminder that this was going to be my life for the rest of my life. There's no way I was going to escape this. There's no one make it. Either I'm gonna die in prison or I'm gonna have to kill somebody in prison. And either way, my life is over. I can't believe I took that man's car. I can't believe I did this. You know what, Marcus? You only had the time and space to think about it like that. You got to make sure you watch your back. What's the brand? That's the new brand you want to build in here to make sure that you straight. You know what I mean? Like as you think about what your life is. Like this is just what it is now.
So, new mind state. I'm here. Prison is basically where I gotta live at. I can't think about stuff on the outside. The way you just told me about your mother always being there, I have the sense of understanding that she's still there, coming to see you, the whole nine. Tell me a little bit about this.
I mean, she was. I was telling, but I told her I had to call my mom. I was like, "Yo, mom, you can't keep doing this. You can't keep doing this. This is wild. Like, I don't even want to keep putting you through this." So I told her, I'm like, "Yo, stop coming to see me. Don't write me no more. I'm not gonna talk to you no more. This is it. I love you. I'm not bad. I made a horrible decision. That's this is it." And so my mom, of course, being my mom, she came and see me that same next weekend. And she was like, "Bro, you bugging." You know what I mean? Like, yo, you tripping. I'm your mom. You can't out criminalize my love for you. And she made a promise to me in a visit room to write me letters and send me pictures for the remaining 6 years of my prison sentence until I came home so that I could stay connected to my family.
That's powerful.
So grateful. She's my superhero.
Look, and she just turned in. Well, I've already heard this, but just now having a one-on-one and talking to you about it personally, she just turned to mine.
Yeah, no, I
Because
appreciate it.
I had two that did pretty much the same thing. I ain't never tell them not to come, but I told they came once a month for 11 years. And from me understanding my parents, I understand the love that your mother had for you.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but being that I know your story and I know the gift that came from it. Talk about what she actually done throughout the rest of the 6 years that actually doing your bid that made you start the business that you have.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I'm grateful. I mean, by my mom sending me those photos and letters, kept me connected to her in a way that, most people don't have in prison. People locked up, they hours and hours away from home. You know what I mean? They years, sometimes decades away. You know what I mean? How you describe it last year, that's wild. You know what I mean? So over time, you become the cousin that's just locked up. You know what I mean? Like, when you first get locked up, it's like, oh my God, it's my cousin. We gotta help him. We gotta support him. Da, da, da.
That
After
died.
after you done been shipped twice, you know what I mean, and now you hours away from home, life still goes on for them. You know what I mean? And as life still goes on for them, it's not that they love you any less. It's just that life be lifing. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, now you 3 or 4 years gone, and then a conversation happens, and they're like, "Yo, my cousin has been gone for 4 years. Has it been 4 years already? Oh my God. Yo, my cousin has been gone for 7 years. He's been gone for 7 years already. Oh my God." And now when it's time to reconnect with you, it's challenging because they love you, but they're like, "Dang, he can be gone for 4 years. I haven't written to him, talked to him, visited him, nothing for 4 years." He probably thinking I hate him. He probably thinking I abandoned him. I didn't really abandon him. I love him. Now they start arguing with themselves in their mind, in their hearts. There's an internal battle, internal tension. And so now it's like, all right, I need to write him. I'm going to go visit him. I need to do it. And then tomorrow turns into Tuesday, and Tuesday turns into Friday, and Friday turns into April, and April turns into November, almost like a snap of a finger. And then it's like 5 years. You're like, dang, I said I was going to go visit him. And they never do. And that's what happens for, the hundreds and sometimes on some prisons, thousands of men women that are sitting in there. And it's a big group of depression, of hopelessness. You know what I mean? It's a dark, airy cloud, you know what I mean, of like, yo, everyone's forgotten about me. And most of us didn't have the level of empathy or introspection to understand that, that complexity of life for your loved ones that's out there. You just wondering like, yo, where they at? Did they abandon me? They forgot about me. And I think that that was a challenge that my mom saw for me that I didn't have, but other men did. And so they started to live vicariously through my letters and pictures now. Because ain't nobody getting mail like that in prison. You know what I mean? They ain't getting pictures like that. You know what I mean? And it's no social media. It's no, easy emailing or texting or none of this, tools that we use every day out here. And so but my mom being the person that's sending all this fresh content, everybody living vicariously through my. Oh, Smoke, you got mail again, yo. What your mom talking about? Yo, what your sister's going on with her? Did she get her GED? What happened with that? Did your mom get a wash and dry fix? And it was like, these stories that we could tell through the prison as a result of this new content that my mom was sending to me. And so when I came home, finally, after serving all 8 of those years, I knew I needed to figure out a way to be able to contribute in a meaningful way, which prompted us to be able to, want to launch Flickshop.
Before we jump into that forward part, your life through your mother sending pictures, writing letters, it gave hope to hopeless people. It allowed them to see through your situation that life ain't as bad as it seemed. And they drew from you, just from having the conversation that we're having now. I can hear they wanted to know more about your family. Even though their family may not have been doing this, they grew into looking at your pictures, wanting to hear more about what was going on with your niece, with your mother's washing machine. This is hope. Even though it seems crazy to the average person, it gave them just a glimpse that life, yes, is still going on, and that while their people may not be doing it for them, they gain from you. This is one of the
Absolutely.
ways that you helped people to grow in there. Is it anything else that you did to help people while you was there?
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I enjoyed doing, even in my job while I was working in there, was to help be a teacher's aide for folks that were nervous about being introduced to these new computers that got dropped in the prison. One of the prisons I was at, a local college, they had dropped some software on these old computers that allowed us to be able to play around with them, and folks were, nervous about using them. I'm the young kid on the prison rec yard, and I was always excited and thrilled about helping folks be introduced to the stuff that I had been introduced to, a year or two prior when I was just in high school. And so I used to, be excited about building the hustle while I was there, even outside of that, like the education piece where I was, I had my 2-for-1 honey bun game going. But one of the things I think that, that journey taught me around with working inside that microcosm of what life looked like was that there really is a group of amazing people and talented and gifted folks that are in these cells, behind these cells.
Yeah,
And that's one of the reasons why I try to find ways to build advocacy into the work that I do now to uplift that.
I know you got to go. Tell me about Flickshop real quick, and tell me quickly about the things that you've done since you've been home, because I know you do a lot of work.
Yeah. Nah, thank you for asking that question. I mean, so Flipshop has been incredible. We built this app that our customers can download completely for free, and no one charging any money for the app inside of the app store. They download this app, and in fact, the first Flickshop credit that we that allows you to be able to purchase stuff inside of our app, we give the first Flickshop credit away for free as well, and so you can even try using our products, at no cost whatsoever. But we built this app that allows our customers to easily to be able to upload a photo. They can type a quick message real fast, press send, and we print that picture and message on a real tangible postcard, and we ship it to any person anywhere in the country. We built inside that same app. You can build what we call a flick book. Those are our photo books where you can just tap in through all of these beautiful photos that's in your photo gallery in your phone, press send, and we'll print that all of those photos inside of a photo book, a beautiful full color photo book that we'll print and ship to your loved one who was in any prison cell or any military base anywhere around the country. Like, this is the kind of power that we wanted to be able to build with that app. And because we knew that what my mom was doing was so special for me, it saved my life. And I'm wondering how many other families could benefit from that. Even the ones who haven't talked to their loved one in, 3 or 4 years, right? Like, they could have a tool that they can, just a couple of words. Like, I was just thinking about you. I just want to say hi. I just want to say what's up and brighten someone's day in a meaningful way. It was pretty cool.
And last thing, give me a word of wisdom for anybody who either in prison, just somebody young, old, it doesn't matter, but a word of wisdom that you might give them that may impact their life.
Yeah, there are two things I live by that I always, leave with folks when I have these opportunities. The first thing I tell people is to always ensure that you're believing in yourself and what's inside of you. The reality of most of our lives is that we believe and think that these premonitions or these ideas or these sparks, they came to us by happenstance, and it's not the case.
Mhm.
That's the Holy Spirit that blessed you with this sprinkle of an idea that was designed and meant only for you. He ain't get that to nobody else but you. That wasn't just about happenstance you came across this idea. It wasn't about happenstance that you just met this random person in your life. This is about happenstance that you had this manager at your job. This is about happenstance that your children are having these complexities in their lives. That is about happenstance that you had battled addiction at this certain point of your life. That is about happenstance. Your hair started turning gray earlier. Any of those things that that when you start getting ideas around the thing in your life that God is telling you to go pull the trigger on, jump out the window and build your parachute on the way down. Period. Believe in yourself that much that you have the confidence to jump out the window and build your parachute on the way down. And let me just add on something there. Just sometimes it's going to go, you're going to go splat. You're going to hit the ground because your parachute ain't going to open in time. I want to let you know that. But you know what I want you to do? Figure out how to be able to find your resilient, tenacious self, pick yourself up, go run back up that top of that building and jump out the window again and build your parachute on the way down. At some point, that parachute is going to open. You're going to be able to soar. You're going to love every moment of it. The second thing I want to be able to, the second thing I like to leave folks with is something that I heard, about a year ago through a friend of mine, inside of a circle conversation we had, and he talked about the advice that he received from one of his professors when he was in grad school. His professor said that we all hear this mantra, this saying that this too shall pass.
Mm-hmm.
We all understand the power of recognizing in our lives that this too shall pass.
Come on now.
What I want you to remember is that also means for the good things.
Mm.
See, we always believe we hear it when we hear that term in our mind, this too shall pass. We attach the negative connotations to it that make us think about all the bad things that happen in our lives. But if we remember that even in the good moments in our lives, this too shall pass, then it will allow us to have the permission, the responsibility even to pause and be grateful for the good times.
Good God.
Those two will pass as well. And you don't want to look back and realize that you were being ungrateful the entire time.
Good God. Look, Mr. Bullock, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. This meant a lot. For all of y'all out there, this is Mr. Bullock. My name is Carlos Walker, and this is Forward Progress. And I appreciate you. I'll be in touch with you, bro. Love you, man.
Appreciate you, man. Love you, bro.
Blessings. I'll send this
You
to
have
you.
me.